champion, speaker, and author, Aaron Davis.
Nebraska will win the national championship. The Cornhuskers beat Miami. It is history, 13-0, and bring that trophy back to Lincoln.
Former Arena Football League quarterback, former head coach of the Capital City Crush, and guru of Husker football history, Chris Raff.
25 straight wins for the Cornhuskers. One of the most dominating stretches in college football history.
We may have seen one of the best teams in the history of college football tonight.
Brought to you by Sand Hills Global on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, everybody, we're back again. It's The Drive with AD and Raph. We are all together in the same studio. Back again. No hotel rooms. Not sitting in the Mansion Duval. AD is right. AD is studying hard over there.
No, something just dawned on me, man.
What's that?
I'll be on the road again. I speak in Kearney on Thursday morning. I'm just sitting there looking at myself. I'm like, wait a minute. So yeah, I'll be on the road again Thursday and Friday.
What do you know? What do you know? He's leaving us.
I was just thinking about this. So Thursday, I'll be calling you from the road. I'll be remote until about 9:45 because then I speak at 10, and I'll speak there in Kearney, and I'll blaze back to Omaha to catch a flight to go to Chicago.
Holy cow! What time's your Chicago? No, that's later in the day.
I don't fly until like 4:30 out of Chicago, and I'm done. I got 4. I mean, it only takes 3 hours to get from Kearney to Omaha. With no, even if there's a hiccup, I'm not as worried because if there's a hiccup, if push came to shove with flights, I could always drive to Chicago, which I would definitely do not want to do.
Yeah,
but I was kind of looking. That's why I just was staring at my screen. I'm like, wait a minute, hold up, wait a minute.
So Kearney Thursday, then Omaha on Friday.
Chicago Friday.
Chicago. I fly out from Omaha on Thursday. To go to Chicago.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, so I will not be with you guys on Friday morning because I think my talk Friday mornings like at
9:45.
No, it's Friday afternoon. I will be. I'll
He's back.
Hotel.
There he is.
I'll be at the hotel.
We got him
because I don't speak until 3:30. But I'll watch the Rutgers game there in Chicago because my next flight I could have got out was like at 5:30, which I wouldn't have got done with my talk enough time to get. So I'll be watching it from there. Dude, help me out, y'all. How will I watch the game? Because FX1, right?
Yeah, Fox Sports 1.
But that's a dice roll in the airport. Them having a channel. I can download the app to my iPad.
You should be able to download like the Fox Sports app, and as long as you sign in with your TV stuff, you'll be able to have it.
See, I want to get that done ASAP. Yeah. I'm going to be probably talking with you before that because I don't want to mess around.
Yeah, that's fine.
And I'm listening to, Greg Sharp and those guys on the radio. I mean, God bless those guys, but I want to watch the game. I don't want it to be listening. I want to watch it, And I'm sure the people in Chicago, well, there's a lot of Husker people in Chicago as well.
I'm sure there's that. And they have, since they're Big Ten country, they still have a lot of the same channels.
Yeah.
The problem is when you go down to like Kansas City and things like that. You don't have Big Ten network.
Nope, it's all Big 12.
Yeah, it's all
Big 12.
It's all Big 12, and you can't do anything about it.
West Coast the same way, man. Well, that'll change in a few years, though. Hopefully,
That's right.
You got USC, UCLA coming to the conference, so we'll see what happens right there.
Expand the entire footprint.
Man, dude, I'm just realizing. I'm glad I looked at my schedule. I'm thinking, I knew I had it coming up, but I was like, yeah, I'm in Kearney on Thursday. So that's weird, but nevertheless, it is what it is, folks. It is Tuesday. Talk about it Tuesday. We want to know what you want to talk about. Well, obviously, we got a lot of things we want to talk about as well, but kind of the things you want to talk about regarding what happened last week, also upcoming week, because the thing about it is you have to have a short memory what happened on Saturday night. Great, you won, but that's it. One thing that Coach Osborne would always say, they would say, Coach, when did you stop celebrating the game that you won? He goes, the moment I walked off the field. The moment I walked off the field, it was business, at hand. And also, Nick, do we have the clips from yesterday's presser?
We have a few, I think.
I want to give you those at the top of the hour.
Since Bach was not here, Rico had to fill in for him, and we might not have gotten them right away. So we'll be there soon. We'll
top of the hour. If we get, we'll have those.
Rico's giving us thumbs up.
Right. Oh, yeah, appreciate it, Rico. Appreciate it, brother. So top of the hour, we'll have some of the other clips from the presser because I do want to talk about that as well. Monday Night Football. Who watched? If you watched it last night, let us know what you thought. Do we have any 49er fans out there? Any Rams fans out there? Let us know what you thought of the game. Raph, did you watch it? You didn't get to watch a lot of it, did you, Raph?
I watched about a half. I mean, like I said, my favorite play of the game was Bobby Wagner.
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
Some guy ran out on the field, ran around for a little bit, and then Bobby Wagner decided to end it, and he caught him good. He got him good.
See, here's what I don't understand, man. 0419, appreciate that 0419. I've had really good luck watching Husker games at airports. They know Husker fans everywhere. They'll probably have it on. I hope so, bro. I hope so. Sports bar at O'Hare. You know, Curtis, O'Hare sometimes kind of a little dicey. You know, they're a little dicey sometimes at O'Hare, and I hope so. I definitely hope so, because they definitely got plenty of sports bar. Go to Kirkwood's Bar, Husker Bar in Chicago. Money, I appreciate it. 4932. I have to check that one out. My brother Cheeseburger, AD, my everything hurts from Pharaohs. I like it. There you go, baby. And you know what? In the first week, it's going to be like that, man. Actually, the first probably week and a half, it's going to be a little sore. But brother, I'm proud of you, Cheeseburger. It's Tuesday, so you just finished your second day in, man, on the Pharaohs Extreme Body Shaping 10-week challenge. So I'm proud of you, brother. Keep punching, keep kicking. You got this, man. Remember the reasons why you started. I keep saying that. Remember why you started. Yeah, hey, Dusty said, great game. I told y'all Jimmy G is solid. But you know what? Let me see this right here. Before I go to Dusty, Jam and Josh. Goff got the Rams to the Super Bowl. Well, that was just morning we talked about that. Just recently said, fan here about what I expected. Need to get healthy. O-line is pretty much dead at the moment. And think about it. I got Goff as my fantasy quarterback. Let's just say he didn't give me a lot of points last night. Mm-hmm. You know, he was running for his life, and Jam and Josh, you're exactly right. My man was running for his life half the time, man. I mean, he was running for his life. Dusty, you being a Niner guy, Jimmy G is solid. And the thing about it is this, y'all. You think about this, we were talking about him earlier this year, a few months ago. I don't understand why the hate for Jimmy G is there. Yeah. Remember we were talking about that? What has Jimmy G done other than take him to a Super Bowl? Now, they didn't win. Yeah. But I don't understand why there's so much consternation against him in San Francisco. And I'm thinking, dude, think about if you didn't have him right now. You're not winning last night, because who's their third-string quarterback? Do they have a third-string quarterback unless they take somebody off the practice squad?
They traded Sudfeld to the Lions, I believe. I don't even know who their third-string quarterback is.
Who is your third-string quarterback for the Niners? Let us know, Dusty, if you got that answer.
Is it Beathard?
And we can look that up, too.
CJ Beathard, probably. And Deebo Samuel is always good to have on your team.
Oh, Deebo.
That guy is a beast.
Oh, it's Brock Purdy.
Who's it?
Brock Purdy. Chubb's brother.
Rams fan here. Very disappointing game. Really needed O-line and someone other than Donald to step up to top. I mean, you're exactly right. I didn't see a lot of guys step. Of course, Donald, think about this. Donald was getting double teamed half the dang time. You know, he was getting double teamed half the time. And then and then Goff was running for his life half the time, too.
Stafford?
Yeah, Goff's in Detroit.
Not Goff.
Stafford.
I keep saying the wrong name. You guys keep saying Goff. You mean Stafford? Yes, thanks, Newt. Newt's like, what game are you guys watching? Detroit wasn't playing last night.
Yeah. We had the VCR tape on. We were watching.
Yeah, we were watching
the game from 6 years ago.
Stafford. Stafford was running for his life last night. I don't know. The Rams are kind of an enigma, but their O-line, if they don't get that thing straightened out together, Stafford is not going to be playing the whole season. That's just the bottom line, because, man, he was taking some shots last night. But I've always liked Jimmy G. Just the way that he just kind of took the high road. Even as bad as they were treated, like, you know what, I get it. It's a business. It is what it is.
Yeah.
But my man handled his business last night, man. He handled his business. Just looked at the box score. Newt said Stafford's numbers were terrible. What was the cause? He was running for his life, man. He was running for his life most of the night, as far as that goes. Other thoughts, guys. I want to talk about this too, man. I want to get the listeners, like I said, talk about it Tuesday. Do any of you guys think that Fitzgerald could possibly be in trouble there in Northwestern?
Yes, I think any coach that is not producing is in trouble these days. There is I don't think there's much allegiance to coaches anymore. It's a win now atmosphere. Like, they posted Barry Alvarez's record from 2001 to 2003, and like, do you think he'd still be the coach here right now? And no. You've got to win now. If you don't win, they're on to the next.
You think about that, Barry Alvarez, the godfather, if you would, of Wisconsin football in modern day. And you look at his records back then. It wasn't, I mean, it was decent. It wasn't impressive, but he would have been gone.
Oh, yeah.
He'd have been gone.
Easy.
But you think about what he took over. It wasn't like he took over a whole lot anyway when he took over Wisconsin. He established their identity, established when people started, quote unquote, calling him the Big Red of the North, which I hate that. But the reality is Barry took the blueprint from here at Nebraska, took it up there, and just had a heck of a run with it, man. That's the bottom line.
And now they're following it through.
Yep. Fitzgerald is 107-81.
Yeah.
107-81. Here's what I would say to that. They'd be crazy to get rid of that guy. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. At this point, you better let this year play out because that dude, former player, blood, sweat, and tears. But at the same time, it would not surprise me, man. Nothing would surprise me. What do you think, Nick? What do you think?
I think they need to hold on to him just because I don't know who else you get. I mean, do you really get a guy like Coach Fitzgerald's of Coach Fitz caliber?
Nope. Who deals with a lot less resources. Entry level is so much harder than Northwestern.
I'll also add this. I mean, you're building a new stadium here in the next couple of years, and who do you want as your head coach? You're a former player who's been there for however long, or a new guy?
Well, Rod Lincoln says Pat Fitzgerald to Nebraska.
How about that?
I think he's a heck of a coach, man. I just think he doesn't have the access to athletes like we have because they're admission standards, man. I mean, that's just the bottom line. You know, you think about this. You're not getting all the 4 and 5 star guys at Northwestern because, again, just admission standards are not having that. And you don't lower your standards, you know, as far as that go.
Exactly.
Fitzgerald is Stanford Shaw. There is no hot seat.
that is one.
That's a great point. Or I would even say Kirk Ferentz in Iowa.
Yeah, that's a shocking one. How David Shaw is still at Stanford.
Yes.
I mean, because obviously the days that they had Andrew Luck and Christian McCaffrey, they were rolling. They were a top 10 team. But I mean, you don't think about Stanford anymore.
No,
you don't.
No, they're
unless you're thinking about John Elway.
Oh my gosh, you got it ready to go.
It sounded.
We got to have that thing ready to go.
Ready to roll.
We got to have it on deck every time.
I keep thinking he's going to be better one day.
No, he's not.
He's just going to stop.
And we didn't get to talk about this yesterday.
Yeah. How are your?
Well, we got to talk about mine too. We're talking.
We got to talk about all three of ours.
Yeah.
Hey, on it. Okay, hold on. Time out.
You must be crazy. Good. You must be crazy.
All right, so we'll start here. The Lions, they were without Amon-Ra St. Brown. They were without DeAndre Swift, and they still put up 45 points. The only problem is they allowed 48. So they lost by 3.
The only problem was they allowed 48.
They put up 45 points without their 2 best offensive players. I'm okay with it. We're training up. They're a competent football team, and 6.5 wins is clearly in reach.
They're on their way.
You know, and the thing about it, man, I like Dan Campbell. Or Mullen, whatever his name is. Mullen. Campbell. Fitzgerald, whatever the heck his name is. I like Detroit's coach, put it that way. Because at least you see those guys that are they're fighting. You know, they're not just laying down playing, you know, just saying forget it is what it is. They're at least fighting out there. I like what they're doing there. Like you said, they're out through their studs, man. So that's going to happen in that situation. That game there, who they got next week?
Ooh, I think the schedule gets a little bit tougher next week.
Steelers' schedule gets easier too, doesn't it, AD?
Oh my gosh, no, we got Buffalo this weekend, man. Our schedule.
Easy game next week.
Gentle, everyone.
Easy game next week. The Lions play the Patriots.
Yeah.
I know you're not talking, Raph.
I've had a day to recuperate. I gave it 24 hours. I'm back.
He's trying to make fun of, even though I dislike you enjoying the Detroit Lions and your Steelers are garbage. You can't talk much, Raph. You gave the only winless team their win.
We're a giving franchise, and I wanted to.
You gave $260 million to Russell Wilson,
to a guy who eats sandwiches and talks like he just strapped somebody to a chair.
Runner pass.
Hey, bipolar.
Runner pass. Hey, 9-6. Runner pass.
Hey, bipolar just texted in and said Russ fleeced the donkeys.
But we signed Latavius Murray yesterday. We're on. We're back.
Who?
Former Raider.
Former Saint.
Former Saint as well.
He scored a touchdown on Sunday. I was laughing when
he may become the first player to score a touchdown in London for 2 different franchises in the same season.
That's wild.
Possibilities
that's
strong.
Pretty wild.
There you go. Wild. There's Rico's fun stat of the day.
I like it, Rico.
Good. I tuned in just for that.
like it.
Also, I'm gonna update this because my Falcons got another win.
Yeah, they did.
My Falcons.
They did.
Getting closer.
So are you a Falcons fan or you're a Patriots fan?
No,
I'm a Patriots fan.
I thought you were a Dolphins fan.
I don't delete tweets. Unfortunately,
explain that.
I don't
Explain
delete
that.
I don't delete tweets.
What did you leave your Twitter on?
That one.
This computer?
Yep.
That's too bad. So did you see this morning, AD? Rico left his Twitter logged in on this computer.
Yeah,
Jake saw it.
he tweeted something was
And
tweeted.
he tweeted about how I have a new favorite NFL team, and it's the Dolphins.
Oh my goodness!
Hashtag fins up.
No, I
Just
think
a
that deserves.
tragedy.
I think that deserves a delete.
Just a tragedy. I don't delete tweets. Rule number 1 on Rico's Twitter. I don't delete tweets.
Yeah, but
Unless
follow me.
But if I didn't tweet it, that doesn't really count.
Follow
Yep,
me,
it's
Chris
there.
Raff 7.
Maybe I'll
Follow
get a
me.
bunch of Dolphins followers.
I need followers. I need
You're
about.
big. Rico is so big on followers.
I need
I am.
1,500 more.
I'm
I think.
obsessed. It's a problem, really.
If I get 1,500 more followers, I can start following people again. I think. So.
Well, follow Raph on
That's
Twitter
right.
so we can start tweeting.
Yeah, no,
again.
Rico. Have you heard this? Have you
or
heard
just
this?
unfollow a bunch of people so
Raph-
you can.
I don't have
That's
time
what
to
I
sit
said.
down and do that.
Raph can't follow people because he follows everybody under the sun.
I've never
Yeah.
heard of that.
It happened to me.
Oh, you're following 5,003 people,
Yep.
and you
I'm
only
locked.
have 905 followers.
That's all I can follow because I'm at 5,000. And then what happens is they drop down and then somebody re-adds their account. So I sit right at about 5,001, 5,003. It's great when I wake up and I see 4,999 because I'm like,
Yeah.
ooh, I can add one person.
Dude, just go through.
Why do you
when you're,
follow
when you're
so
at
many
the
people?
Airport,
Yeah,
just start
because
deleting some of those
That would
people,
annoy
man.
me. I'm sorry, but that would annoy me to see all the crowded feed.
Just start deleting people.
Like,
When you're at the
I
airport,
think
you got some time.
It's sort of
pretty
like
sure-
it's sort of like my newspaper though, where I like following a lot of people so then I can see all the news and
Pretty sure I only follow a couple hundred.
really
I'm even going to start
And,
deleting some of mine.
and I'm
man.
just like,
Oh,
dude, this
great.
is-
AD's gonna delete me and then
Yeah.
no, if that worked. No.
I'm going to start deleting some.
Well,
Yeah,
Ralph's gone.
we all unfollow Raph.
No.
Ah,
Thanks for playing.
Great. Now it'd take me forever to get 1,500 more followers.
1,500.
Well, I think I got to get to like 2,500.
whiz.
I need like a little bit under 500 more to get to 2,000.
Rico, that'd be big.
Wow.
That'd be big time for you.
Well, I've been
It
tell-
would be.
I've
I'd
been
be very
telling Sipple to like just put a post up saying go follow Chris Raff 7
I
because
do wonder how
he's got
much.
75,000 followers.
I do wonder how much like that would work if Sipple did do that. Just be like, I wonder how many followers that would get us.
Sip, if you're listening right
I'm gonna,
now,
I'm gonna log
Chris
into Sipple's
Raff
Twitter and I'm
7.
gonna log into Jay Foreman's Twitter.
What do we think? What do
and
we
I'm gonna
think?
tweet to follow us.
What do we think Sipple's Twitter password is?
Sim probably doesn't even do his own Twitter.
Sip 123.
Steven.
Steven.
Steve.
Biker, biker dude.
I heart Harleys.
I heart Harleys.
Harley.
What year was he born?
I have no idea. I'm not even gonna take a stab at it because
It'll just be I heart Harleys and then
the
the
year.
last 2 digits.
Sip would probably put a social security number. the last 4 of his social. I heart Harleys and then 4 digits.
Then 4 digits.
Yeah. Nobody will ever guess this.
Ever.
Until the hackers.
Makes sense to me.
All right. Well, thanks, Rico.
No problem.
Well, here's a little thing. This we got our Twitter talk out the way. Here's Detroit's next few weeks, man. You know, Detroit. Goodness, I don't like seeing this, man. Detroit has who does Detroit got next, man? Okay, hope I got the right month.
So it's Patriots.
They got the Patriots on Sunday. They have a bye week.
Yep.
Then you got the Cowgirl. I'm gonna say Cowgirls.
There it is.
Cowboys.
That'll
Cooper Rush magic, baby.
Then you got the Dolphins. So you guys got a rough October as well, though, man. Patriots,
Yeah.
bye week, Cowboys, Dolphins.
Then he goes right into Packers, Bears, Giants,
Yes.
Bills, Jags. Yeah, I mean,
So-
hey, okay, so let's look. So they got 1 win, right? They started out 1-0. They're on a 3-game skid.
Right.
Without Mac Jones, I think there's a chance that they can beat the Patriots.
I think so too.
There's a chance.
I don't know. Bailey
Patriots
Bailey
defense
Zappa.
not like all that staunch.
Is it Bailey
Like that.
Zappa or
Here
Bailey
it comes.
Zappi? Zappa?
Zappy.
Zappy.
Bailey Zappy.
Zappy magic.
And anytime anybody loses, they're gonna get zappied.
Ref.
Also, the
when
Patriots
it be
re-signed
just
Jamie.
zapped?
Zappied. The Patriots
Zappied.
re-signed Jamie Collins for the 4th time. So
Nice.
that's a thing.
Anyway.
Hey, have it queued up here. Joe says, would Rap rather have 5,000 followers or only 1 follower? That's John Elway.
Oh,
That's easy.
That
It's
is
John
so
Elway.
easy. That is so easy. John Elway. If
Cue
you
it
can
up.
make that happen, make it happen.
Nah.
That'd be the best day of my life. I'd probably just retire.
Rico freaks out because the Memphis Grizzlies.
Memphis follow me.
Yeah, see.
That's pretty dope, man.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Don't listen
That's
to
pretty dope.
Because
You know,
what
you know,
they do-
you know who follows me? Shannon Sharp.
Nice.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah.
No,
I like
you
that.
know how he got the Grizzlies to follow him, hey
What?
guys? Is the Grizzlies send out this thing. I'm going to put the business out in the air.
It doesn't matter because guess what?
Put
Because
the
guess what?
business out
I'm one
there.
of the few that got it.
That is true. But they put out this thing and they're like, comment an emoji and we'll give you a follow back. And it's like, so you comment an emoji.
They haven't unfollowed
he
me.
Do
followed
what you got to
it.
do.
And so that's why if you look at the Grizzlies, they're following thousands and thousands of people.
Huh.
It's because they just do like a follow.
They're following 18.7 thousand people, but
How
they
many-
have 1.4 million followers.
That's big.
That's pretty good.
Have they ever interacted with any of your tweets?
They liked one of my tweets.
When you tagged them?
Yes.
I think
Yeah,
Jim
nice.
McMahon and John Daly follow me also. Those are two fun ones.
Jim McMahon and John Daly.
John Daly. Shout out to John Daly.
Shout out
Yeah,
to
I
Jim
spoke
and
to him
John
one
Daly.
night down in Arkansas. That was pretty cool.
Dude, he is buck wild, man. He's buck wild. I like his style, the way he just goes out and just plays carefree.
Okay, so
I wish there was a way to check like how
Qdoba
many
guy
blue check
goes,
marks follow you.
Qdoba guy. They may follow you, but you know what? You know that they hide you from their feeds.
yeah, mute you.
Probably.
It don't matter to me. I just need followers so I can follow people.
So okay, so the Lions
So-
need 6 wins.
So let's look at
Patriots,
They're not going to beat the Patriots.
there's a chance.
They're not
I
gonna
think
beat
there's
the
a chance, especially if they're playing a backup quarterback, man.
Third string.
Exactly. Third
Oh,
string.
I'm sorry. Who was the first rookie quarterback to throw a touchdown pass this year?
Bailey
Zappi.
Bailey Zappi. He might, man. You never. Anything's
Mm.
possible. Things
Come on.
possible.
Did you know that?
But is
Did
he
you know
going
that
up-
Kenny
Was
Pickett?
he going up against Jeff Okuda last week?
Jeff Okuda is trash. Did you know that Kenny Pickett has not thrown an incomplete pass this year?
Really?
2 interceptions.
Did you know-
Actually,
3 interceptions.
Did
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
did you know Kenny
He's
Pickett?
completed all of his passes.
Hey, the thing about it was,
You know Kenny Pickett
one was
lost to
not
the
even his
Jets?
fault.
Yeah, I think 2 weren't. I
Two
thought there
weren't
was
even
another
his
one.
fault, man.
One went off Fryermuth's hands, I thought, and then
Claypool that is always
And
on there
Claypool.
TikToking and Twitter and everything like that had one right in his hands as well.
Is Claypool on TikTok? Did they switch Juju for Claypool?
I don't know, but
TikTok
I don't
receivers?
know.
for
But them,
Claypool.
if they put as much as energy into catching football as they do with social media, they wouldn't be dropping so many dadgum passes, man.
Hmm.
College, I'm not gonna get on you that like that, but in pros, that's your job. That's your job. Catch footballs.
Yeah.
That's your job. If you brought that same energy as you bring to social media to catching footballs, man, we probably have a better percentage of catching balls. Claypool, that's why he was drafted to catch those type of balls. And then gets on there, he'll be the first one with the puppy ball guys. I can't believe we're not. Well, dude, catch the football. You got one job to do. That's why the pros, man, I don't pull any punches
Maybe-
when it comes to the pros, baby.
Maybe if he had the ball thrown to him more, he'd have more practice catching footballs.
No, that's why after practice, you say after practice and catch footballs more. You go before practice and catch football more. And while you're in practice, you catch footballs. That's your one job. Catch the football.
That makes sense.
Because think about this, yo. As we all know, the NFL, it's a short season, baby.
Yeah.
It goes quick. There's a lot of games, but it goes quick. It means not for long if you keep dropping balls like that.
Rico, who between you and I, who would have more receptions?
Me.
Interesting. Have both of you played football before?
No, I've
I
never
did.
played.
did you really think that he was going to say you? I mean, right when you said between you and me, I knew where
Well,
we could.
I know, but I wanted to put that out in the air.
I'm still
Because
listening.
I have confidence. I'm a much bigger body,
And
much more physical.
I can catch.
Oh no!
I was a catcher.
Oh my!
You had a glove.
You had
I was a catcher.
Oh my!
You've never seen my
Hey,
abilities.
Oh, here's the thing.
Wow!
We got a former quarterback here in Raf.
We do.
We need
Let's
to go to a
ride.
park one time
We do. We should just do a show from a
and
park.
just do a show from the park, or I'll just set up on video. I'll
I may have
record
set
it.
up a remote for us.
I'll record it,
I saw.
and Rav, I'll give them a series of routes to run, and we'll see how many catch the most footballs.
And I threw a couple balls while I was down in Alabama, so my arms still got a little
Perfect.
bit of
So got a little fuel in
little
it.
juice back in it.
Perfect.
BJ Arroyo takes me on the stream.
Why?
It's awesome.
Dude, I'm telling you right now. He also said, "Good morning, warning track power, Nick." I hit one to the fence last night.
Proud of you.
I didn't get one over.
How was the defense? Did he Ole one or?
There was one. So here's the thing. I guess
You
this is-
commit errers in baseball when you have a massive glove to
No, no.
catch a tiny ball. You think you're going to catch a football?
This is the time. This is the time. I'm telling you right now. I'm gonna come at the people with the. Actually, no, I can't. Never mind. We're not
Don't yell at the people.
Yeah, we're not gonna do this. Never mind. Just water down your fields a little bit. Get him a little softer.
And you talked about watering down fields. I want to get on that point.
You talk about Mr. Olay, BJ Arroyo. Well, the one took a nosedive.
Olay.
Yeah. So Rubber Duck from LinkedIn says, Nick, I'm bigger. I can catch better. How does that correlate? Just the whole, the boxing out.
Rap CJ gave you a follow.
I know. I saw that.
CJ gave you a follow.
The boxing out, is somebody going against us? Or are we just running routes?
I thought we'd be in coverage.
Do you want the other person to be in coverage?
Yeah.
Then you're definitely not catching anything.
Really? I think you underestimate me.
I think you underestimate me.
We got to take
Ringo,
this to
you're
the park.
short, though. I mean, Ralph's got to throw it up.
Let's ride.
We got to take this to the park. Oh, play it.
I just said
nope.
Must be crazy. Good. Must be.
Anything that you say regarding the DBs, I'm not even saying the full name, that football team in that city.
Don't be calling the DBs.
Yeah,
that's what I'm
calling them.
They're the Broncos.
Well, let's look at this. Let's look at your Broncos, what they got coming up here. And it does not look pretty.
Apple's Colts.
I'm going to look like Larry Fitzgerald against Nick.
And then they got the San Diego Superchargers, which they will not be doing the Manning cast for.
You mean the
Boo.
Well, you guys, here's October record. Here's October record for Denver. October schedule for Denver. You got the Colts on Thursday.
Yeah.
The Chargers on the 17th.
Oh, yeah.
The Jets on the 23rd.
Oh, yeah.
And the Jags on Sunday the 30th.
Well, see 4-0 right
Four
there.
straight losses.
Realistically, what do you see, Raph? Realistically.
Let's say 3-1.
You lost Javonte Williams.
But we got Latavius Murray. And we got Melvin Gordon. He's only fumbled 4 times in his last 44 carries.
Melvin Gordon is the Santa Claus of running backs.
He likes to give
gifts.
He's a giver. He is a giver.
Ho, ho, ho. Here you go.
But I'm holding out that he's going to turn things around. I mean, even on that fumble, he had 9 yards when he fumbled. But the problem was the other team.
It's kind of like Nick saying the good thing we scored 45 points. The problem was they scored 48. You just simply said, well, he had 9 yards.
We're grasping. We're grasping.
We're grasping.
We're grasping right now.
And believe me, I have no room to talk with my Steelers, but I'm just kind of.
I'm grasping for anything right now. Randy Gregory's out for probably 2 to 6 weeks. I mean,
guys, the past 2 years, injury bug has killed you guys, man.
It gets us so bad.
I mean, that's real. I mean, probably one of the. This is in their defense. Okay, I will say this, Raph's defense. 3 years ago, was it 3 years ago? 2 years ago, when the NFL was so janky, man, it pissed me off.
Oh yeah, Kendall Hinton started.
They literally got a quarterback that was one of their equipment managers. They would not. They wouldn't. I thought that game was bogus, man. I thought that was Bush League. That was one of the only games, and they were playing the Saints, weren't they? I think it was the Saints they were playing. That was the worst football game I ever watched because it was just like, that was just like literally get somebody off the street to play against some of the best world's athletes. I thought that was ridiculous. I will give Rav a pass on that because that was jacked up, man. That was a jack move.
Oh, and as we go to break, we need to talk a little bit about Patrick Mahomes' throw in that Sunday night game.
We would definitely come back
insane.
to that. We'll come back to that. We'll talk about more the kind of the schedules we have coming up. We'll talk more about the NFL this weekend. Also getting some Husker sound bites. And also, do you prefer grass or artificial turf when it comes to football playing fields with the number of injuries that have been happening lately? We're going to talk about it.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out of Starter Heyman with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful.
I absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman.
Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
Yeah, it was great.
We're definitely coming back in the future. Starter Heyman Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island. StarterHeyman.com.
Did you know that the U.S. has added over 1,100 new breweries in the last 18 months? Learn more by shopping at Myers Cork and Bottle, 13th and South, and by tuning into Thirsty Thursdays with Kevin Myers, because sports are better with a drink in your hand and a friend at your side.
There's a lot of realtors in Lincoln, but don't get overwhelmed by all the names. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realtor Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate is your go-to option when buying or selling residential and commercial property. Ben's team offers unbeatable customer service and promises to make the buying and selling process as stress-free as possible. Call Ben today at 402-419-6309 for all your real estate needs. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate. No pressure, just professionalism.
Wow. Did you ever save me money on my car?
Yes, that's why our customers keep coming back.
How do you do it, friendly car dealer ?
We simply have low overhead and high trade-in values. The next line's yours.
Oh.
Ready for something better? Mullen Motors is a no-hassle, no-pressure dealership with financing available. Check out the inventory at MikeMullenMotors.com.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Eustace Body Shop, where our customers send their friends. That's the greatest compliment we can receive. If you've been in an accident, we'll get you back in your vehicle as quickly as possible. Our technicians care about you and your family and repair your vehicle to factory standards. We handle your claim from start to finish and provide a free loaner car. Stop by for a free estimate. Eustace Body Shop, just south of 88th and Highway 2.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
Tune in to the Teammates Mentoring Hour each Wednesday from 6 to 7 p.m. on 93.7 The Ticket. Hear stories from the program started by Tom and Nancy Osborne and how it's changed mentors and mentees' lives and how you can be involved. The Teammates Mentoring Hour, Wednesday nights from 6 to 7 o'clock on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
How's Wingstop sound? Crispy, juicy, classic wings. Made to order, cooked to perfection. And sauced and tossed in those 11 soul-satisfying flavors. Paired with hand-cut seasoned fries, house-made honey mustard, blue cheese, or signature Wingstop ranch. And, of course, spicy Cajun fried corn. I think you've heard enough. Get your flavor delivered at Wingstop.com.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now they've raised wages again and they're hiring for production operators at $22.58 per hour. And other select jobs is starting at $24.28 per hour, with wages growing up to $30.30 per hour. Continental also has salaried jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates. To learn more or to apply, go to continental-jobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Get an immediate look back at the game from the people who know it best. It's the Tanner's post-game show and the final word live from Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill. Hear from former players and national champions like Jay Foreman, Rashawn Jackson, and Aaron Davis and see what they saw in that day's game. It's the Tanner's post-game show and the final word. Live and in person, home or away at Tanner's Bar and Grill, brought to you by Bauer Infrastructure. Only here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
It's time for week 7 of the high school football season right here on 93.7 The Ticket. Hey guys, it's Nick Sainer. Join me this Thursday night live from Seacrest Field for a matchup between the Lincoln East Spartans and the Lincoln High Lynx. Both teams come in with a 3-3 record, as well as featuring Division I recruits. Iowa State commit Benny Ngoyi suits up for the Lynx, while uncommitted 4-star recruit Malachi Coleman represents Lincoln East. Kickoff is scheduled for 7 p.m., and you can hear all the action unfold right here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
When you're high, you feel different. You think different, you talk different, you draw different, you listen to music different, but you probably knew that. Problem is, you also drive different, and not in a good way. That's why driving high is illegal everywhere. So if you're high, just don't drive. Make a plan to get a sober ride. Because if you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
If you need to sell equipment and trucks, Ritchie Brothers' new Lincoln Satellite Yard lets you free up space at your property and get local access to all Ritchie Brothers auctions. Drop your equipment off and sell it online at any Ritchie Brothers auction, Iron Planet, or via Marketplace E. The yard is at 8801 US 6 Lincoln. It's secure and makes for easy in-person buyer inspections and pickup. Take advantage of this yard to sell at Ritchie Brothers' Great Plains Regional Auction, September 15th and 16th. For details, visit rbauction.com/Lincoln.
This is The Drive with AD and Raph on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hello. Good morning. Let's go. Hello.
All right, everybody, we're back again. It's Tuesday. This is The Drive with AG and Raph. Just talking a little NFL football. Maybe transition over to a little college football.
Oh, yeah.
No.
We're still going NFL?
No, I want to read this out real quick.
That's true. It's a quick segment.
Oh,
so
yeah.
it's,
My
get
bad.
to-
My bad. I missed
Gosh,
it.
Raph.
I fail all the time.
I want to get, because we talked about who your donkeys got coming up, but you know what? Yours is still not like what we got coming up in Pittsburgh, man. I mean,
So first, the Steelers lose to the Jets in a way that they should not have
Ridiculous
lost. They allowed a
fashion, man.
touchdown last, 20 seconds of the game or whatever.
Yep.
Hey, here's the thing, though. I will say Robert Saleh has something figured out in New York for the Jets.
Jets.
Yeah.
J-E-T-S.
I mean, think about it. They snuck Cleveland last second. Well,
Yep.
Cleveland just played stupid.
Yep.
We lose to Cleveland. We lose to the Jets. Then the Jets come into whatever the name of that stupid field name is we got now in Pittsburgh.
Hines, no more.
We used to be
it's always
Hines.
going to be Hines to me. That was called Cruzman.
Accenture.
No, it's not Accenture.
Oh,
It's
not
called a
Accenture?
Cruisin' or something like
Oh.
that. It starts ACZRU, something crazy like that.
Accenture. I
It's some
I
dumb
listened
name.
to the Pittsburgh Steelers radio football network on the way back.
Yeah, it's some dumb name, but it's about money. I get
Acrisure.
that. Acrisure.
Ah,
Yeah,
close.
Acrisure.
Nice.
So we got the Bills on Sunday. Nice. After that, the 16th, the Buccaneers. The 23rd, the Dolphins. The 30th, the Eagles.
Oh, no. That's 3 straight Super Bowl contenders.
Man,
Bro, I'm telling you, this is me. I mean, I
that,
love my
that above 500 streak could end this year.
I mean, that's realistic talk, man. And that's the first time that, granted, there's a lot of football to be played, but based off what we've watched,
that's trouble.
I mean, it doesn't look good, man. It just doesn't look good. Again, Bills, Bucks, Dolphins, and Eagles. And you got 3 of those games I just mentioned, 3 out of those 4 are all away.
Yeah.
Are all away. So I don't know. Pittsburgh is in some trouble, man.
It still doesn't get any easier. I mean, you got the Saints
No,
then, which
Saints, Bengals, Colts.
Saints are on the same playing field as the Steelers right now. Bengals,
Colts.
Then you have
Falcons,
an
Ravens,
easy-
Panthers, Raiders.
An easy one against the Falcons, and you got to go play the Raiders. Or the
Oh,
Ravens.
boy.
It's yeah.
I was waiting for
Pittsburgh
the
is-
Rico reaction.
The only thing I might be enjoying this year that was
Studying.
saying Pittsburgh on it is this cup of coffee with the Pittsburgh logo on it, man. This may be one of those years, man. And then when you got one of the players, Deontay came out and said rebuilding, I'm thinking, you don't ever say that.
Yeah, it's just a. You don't need to actually say it.
You
but
don't say we're
don't put
rebuilding.
that even in the air.
Oh man, so, I don't know. We're in a lot of trouble there, but that's the pro talk. This week's pro games is going to be a lot of good games. We'll get more of that. Like I said, the college here shortly, but I just want to read off this week's games, which I think can be interesting. Let me see here. So NFL, always want to get to this right here. If I get to the right date.
Do we have any Chiefs fans listening? I was just wondering.
Yeah, are there any Chiefs fans? I'm sure there's Chiefs
I was
fans
just wondering.
listening. I'm sure there's Chiefs fans
'Cause
listening.
You guys better cherish every single year that Patrick Mahomes is your quarterback, because that throw, or I don't even call that a
Yeah,
throw.
talk about that, man.
I don't even think it was a throw. It was more of a
I didn't
run.
get to see it. I
Okay,
was
so
playing.
Patrick Mahomes takes a snap, runs to his left,
It was
evades
ridiculous.
a tackler, runs all the way to the right of the field, evades another tackler, hits like a, would that be a 360 spin, and then as he's right at the line of scrimmage, he holds his body back, and instead of throwing the ball, he sort of like pushes it forward for a touchdown. I mean, it was
the heck?
It was like razzle dazzle.
It was
All right,
we're
man.
gonna
it
search
was
this.
crazy. Chris Collinsworth's like, that's like the little dad that's playing with his little
Yeah.
kids out in the lawn and won't let
Mhm.
any of them tackle him. But then at the end, to have that sort of sense to come out of that 360 spin
Yeah.
and know that he had Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Whoa.
Yeah, I was nuts.
Did you see it, Nick?
Yeah.
It was
It's
nuts.
that
Cherish him. Cherish
Mahomes
him.
does some things to where you figure, you know what, I may not see that again. And just the ease that he does it with. Murray is similar. Kyler Murray, not as consistent, of course, as Mahomes, but
Yeah.
that run that he had 2 weeks ago against the Raiders, to end it was same thing. It's like a little kid running around the backyard. Nebraska fan 7-5 says, AD is a fellow Steelers fan. We can only hope that when TJ Watt comes back, they get better. Nebraska fan, I sure hope so. That he's definitely a difference maker. That's for sure.
So get this, guys. Next week, if Mahomes throws 4 passing touchdowns, he will pass Troy Aikman all time for career touchdown passes.
If he does-
Aikman is calling the game on ESPN.
If he throws how many touchdown
4.
passes? Becomes all-time
Oh, he just passes Troy Aikman
pass Troy Aikman.
because Aikman has for his entire career. So Aikman played from like 89 to 2000, I think, or something like that, right? Aikman had 165 touchdown passes. Since 2017, Patrick Mahomes has 162.
Dude, that is ridiculous.
And I think that, that first year he only played that last game against the Broncos,
right?
Because they didn't. So basically, from 2018 to 2022, he has 162 touchdown passes.
That is ridiculous, man. He's
Absolutely
built
insane.
different. 8556 says, I'm a Commanders fan. Every year is that year for us. Disc Golf Jake on Talk About It Tuesday. We're talking about Tuesday. Just get you off. By Chiefs fan, you mean all these people will go back to being Packers fans when Mahomes leaves?
Oh, you're going to bring them out of the woodwork now?
Oh, snap.
Oh, you started a fire. Disco Golf Jake is in trouble.
Oh, man. 9121 says, I'm a diehard Raiders fan. We'll beat the Chiefs this weekend. We have their number. Raider Nation. Uh-oh. Shots fired. We'll meet a few more before we go to break. Chiefs should be the local team for all Nebraskans. Angry for no reason. That, with a lot of fan base here. Rubber Duck from Lincoln. Are the best quarterbacks also good baseball players? Because Mahomes and Murray were baseball players. That's true. That's a good point. That's a good point. Then we got Jay and Lincoln. You can call me daddy.
Don't just ignore Rico. He's being obnoxious.
Rico's busy.
He's being obnoxious.
We're going to pay some bills, folks. It's The Drive with AD and Raph on 93.7 The Ticket. We'll be back talking Huskers, sound bites. May have a call on there as well that's on hold. Oh, and we'll be back.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
If you need to sell equipment and trucks, Ritchie Brothers' new Lincoln Satellite Yard lets you free up space at your property and get local access to all Ritchie Brothers auctions. Drop your equipment off and sell it online at any Ritchie Brothers auction, Iron Planet, or via Marketplace E. The yard is at 8801 US 6 Lincoln. It's secure and makes for easy in-person buyer inspections and pickup. Take advantage of this yard to sell at Ritchie Brothers' Great Plains Regional Auction, September 15th and 16th. For details, visit rbauction.com/Lincoln.
Get an immediate look back at the game from the people who know it best. It's the Tanner's post-game show and the final word live from Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill. Hear from former players and national champions like Jay Foreman, Rashawn Jackson, and Aaron Davis and see what they saw in that day's game. It's the Tanner's post-game show and the final word. Live and in person, home or away at Tanner's Bar and Grill, brought to you by Bauer Infrastructure. Only here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
It's time again for Lincoln's Best Oktoberfest, the 7th annual Piedmont Oktoberfest, October 8th from 5 to 11 p.m. Enjoy dozens of beers, amazing local food, live music, costume contests, stein holding contests, yodeling, and more, with tickets starting at only $33. Live music by the B Street Band, provided by Aloe Fiber, and safe rides home, provided by Z-Trip and the Nebraska Department of Transportation Highway Safety Office. Get your tickets today at the shops at Piedmont.com. Use promo code The Ticket to receive 10% off your complete order. It's the Piedmont Oktoberfest. The shops at Piedmont.com.
Landmark Implement, your local John Deere dealership, is searching for mechanics of all skill levels to grow with us. Landmark offers a competitive wage, full benefits package, along with paid time off within just 60 days of employment, as well as a 401k and a boot and clothing allowance. Interested in becoming a part of the Landmark difference? Apply now at landmarkimp.com/careers or contact Deanna 402-310-7561 or email careers@landmarkimp.com. That's landmarkimp.com. Landmark Implement is an equal opportunity employer.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and things are cooking in Louisville. Right now, our pre-owned sales are off the charts, and we have loaded up the lots full of inventory. We've got a great supply of Sierras, Silverados, Tahoes, Yukons, and crossovers. Plus, we've got a great supply of back-to-school cars just in time for the big day. Don't forget about all of those new 2022 and 2023 units arriving every day as well. So please take that short, money-saving drive down 144th Street or shop online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did.
At Venue Catering and Events, we offer two of the most historic ballrooms in Lincoln. The Jasmine Room, located in the historic Grand Manse in the heart of downtown, featuring a beautiful built-in antique bar, spacious patio, and soaring skylit ceilings. The Scottish Rite Ballroom, located just 2 blocks from the state's capital, boasts intricate hand-carved columns, rich dark wood floors, and lavish chandeliers. The perfect venues to host your wedding, corporate event, or much more. For availability and more information, call us at 402-603-6483.
Need to send a message? Send it with cake. Congratulations? Here's a congratulations chocolate rum cake from Beatrice Bakery. Thank you? Say thank you with an amaretto cake. I'm sorry that I accidentally hit your mailbox with my car as I was backing out of the driveway and then continued right into your prized petunias. You say that with a lemon drop cake. Everybody knows that. Beatrice Bakery in downtown Beatrice or online at beatricebakery.com. Here to help you say whatever it is you need to say. Welcome to our world of yum.
It's time for week 7 of the high school football season right here on 93.7 The Ticket. Hey guys, it's Nick Sainer. Join me this Thursday night live from Seacrest Field for a matchup between the Lincoln East Spartans and the Lincoln High Lynx. Both teams come in with a 3-3 record, as well as featuring Division I recruits. Iowa State commit Benny Ngoyi suits up for the Lynx, while uncommitted 4-star recruit Malachi Coleman represents Lincoln East. Kickoff is scheduled for 7 p.m., and you can hear all the action unfold right here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Expect increasing cloud cover as we top out near 81 this afternoon. Winds start the day out of the south and turn northerly by the end of the afternoon at around 10. We will see a chance of showers and thunderstorms late this afternoon into tonight, with the low dropping down to 52, becoming mostly sunny tomorrow with a high of 76. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
When you're high, you feel different. You think different, you talk different, you draw different, you listen to music different, but you probably knew that. Problem is, you also drive different, and not in a good way. That's why driving high is illegal everywhere. So if you're high, just don't drive. Make a plan to get a sober ride. Because if you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Now back to The Drive with Aaron Davis and Chris Raff on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, we're back again. It's The Drive with AD and Ralph, 93.7 The Ticket. Well, had a big press conference yesterday.
Let's get to a phone call. Looks like
phone call.
I believe we got David on the line. David, appreciate you staying patient through the commercial break. What's on your mind? David's gone.
David, give us a call back. We had to pay some
Call
bills.
us back,
Definitely
David.
give us a call back, David.
Call
We're
us
definitely
back.
all about talking about the O-line. We definitely all talking about that.
Yeah.
Ryan texted in, I would love for Akeham's Raiders to kick the Chiefs' teeth in the next week. Coming from another Bronco fan. I mean, Ryan, I knew exactly what Ryan that was, because the anger, the bitterness that Denver has for the Chiefs is just mind-blowing to me, man.
There's no bitterness for the Chiefs.
There's no love lost, right?
No, there's no, I don't even care.
So you're just like apathy right now.
No, I've never. Chiefs.
Are the Raiders.
Chiefs have never been my end all.
Yours are the Raiders.
Raiders?
Yeah. When I'm saying when it comes to the Broncos, I'm talking about the rivalry.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
You just like the Chiefs more or the Raiders more?
Raiders more.
Raiders more.
Oh yeah.
It goes back further too, doesn't it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Curtis and Lincoln says, talk about QBs. Drew Brees holds the most. Drew Brees was a bad boy, man. Yes, he was. Drew Brees. I liked about Drew Brees. Everyone talked about how short the guy was, but he just didn't. All he did was win. Just won. He just won games, man. Jan Lincoln, Raider fan, needs to. I think when he's saying a Raider fan needs to close their mouths. The only staff that league in years is sentenced to prison. Ooh.
Yikes.
Ooh, yikes.
Yikes, that's tough.
Shots fired from Jane Lincoln.
Mickey Joseph, why not?
Yes.
All right, so guys, I said this yesterday was my favorite quote from Mickey Joseph. It's one of them that we have. Rico's still working on getting them saved to our folder. This is him talking about the decision to bench Casey Thompson and how Casey responded. And I know you guys have heard this, but I want every Husker fan to hear this quote because it speaks a lot of volume to kind of the situation and the relationships that Mickey Joseph has with the guys.
No, Casey was okay. Casey was okay with that. He came in yesterday, and we sat down. One thing the kids can do with me, we can talk, and they can tell me how they feel. And he didn't want to be taken out of the game, and he expressed that. I mean, he let me know, like, I didn't want that. But then I explained to him why we did it, because I'm always going to explain to him why, because it's a why generation. So he wants to know why. So I told him why. And he said, well, I don't want to do that again. I said, well, I don't want to do it either, but if I have to, I will, because I'm going to be consistent with him. I'm not going to be wishy-washy with him. I'm going to be consistent with him, what I'm saying. He's no different than anybody else. If we think he's struggling, he's coming out. That's anybody. That's the way you got to run your football team. You can't treat him any differently. He don't want to be treated any differently. But he expressed how he felt, and I appreciated that. But at the end of the day, he understands who's the coach.
That's awesome.
My favorite quote from
awesome.
Mickey Joseph yesterday.
I was listening to that on the way back, and I was just like, oh, that's so good.
You know, in a day and age to where there's smoke signals and just, you know, all sorts of different, how do I want to say it? There's all these cryptic messages.
Yeah.
That's the word I'm looking for. Cryptic messages, coach speak, etc.
Yep.
Try to speak or try to speak over your head as if you're an idiot.
Yep.
And it's like, just give it to us straight.
Exactly.
I love the way that Mickey just gave it straight. And not only that, but he's establishing a culture to where players, there's expectations.
Yep.
And if you don't adhere to those expectations, I'm yanking your butt out.
Exactly.
And that doesn't matter from Casey all the way down to where it doesn't matter. No respect to persons. It doesn't matter who you are, what position you played, how long you played there. If you are not performing at your best, you will be taken out.
Yep.
Well, and here's
I
the
love
thing,
it,
guys.
man.
Here's the thing, guys.
I love it.
If you think of somebody in Casey Thompson's position, right, comes in from Texas. I was the starting quarterback last year at Texas. Comes into Nebraska as one of the higher profile transfers that Nebraska gets in. Kind of wins the job before. When he steps on campus, he's the starting quarterback until otherwise, right?
Yep.
And I do think there was a quarterback competition, but it might not have been as close as we thought it was. But anyway, so you have this quote unquote quarterback competition. Casey is the starter, rightfully so. And if Mickey Joseph, and if that quick he gets pulled after a couple bad decisions, that puts the whole program on notice.
Exactly.
Oh crap! They just pulled the guy that they brought in, signed to a big NIL deal from Texas, the starting quarterback against in a Big Ten conference game against Indiana. They pulled him. Man, what does that mean for me?
Yep.
It means your tail better show up.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
It sends a message in a purposeful way.
Yeah.
And it also, with having that happen, your second, third string players, I think, are going to be more dedicated, I would say, at practices because
they know it's quick.
know there's an opportunity for them to get in the ball game. Which
God, look at Malcolm Hartzog.
Malcolm
Hartzog is the perfect example.
True freshman.
2 weeks ago, we had no idea he was making strides.
Right.
Now we had no clue. And part of that maybe is because we don't go to practices, but another part is just you didn't hear anything about him, and he's a true freshman.
Yep.
And now think about this, guys. Tommy Hill is a guy that came in from Arizona State and was one of the, according to the previous defensive staff, was one of the best players on defense in practice, especially. Well, then Mickey Joseph takes over, and 2 weeks later, Malcolm Hartzog is number 2 on the depth chart, ends up starting over Tommy Hill, although he was not number 2 on the depth chart when they released, although he was number 2 on the depth chart when they released it earlier that week, ends up starting, gets a punt return a blocked punt for a touchdown, ends up playing a pretty good game. Now this week he's number 1.
When last week was deemed Nebraska versus Nebraska, I think you found out really quick, and you're finding out who are some of these guys that really want to play for Nebraska, want to play for each other, want to play for the love of the game. And I think you're seeing that. But you know what? Overall, that message, it lets everyone know everyone's on notice here. You know, there are no our depth chart, which you just mentioned, Nate. Our depth chart is not written in Sharpie. It's written in pencil.
Yep.
Meaning every day you have to come out and compete, man. Every day you have to come out and show your worth and what really to put out there on the field. You know, so your body of work has got to prove and validate and justify where you're at on the depth chart. That's why I love how the fact that, and then you seen Whipple. He got in Casey's face, let him know that's not. And you know what Casey said? I like this, Coach Hard. He goes, man, my dad's been coaching me hard since I was 5.
Yep.
That don't mean nothing to me, man. That doesn't faze me. Now, the message did. Not saying what Whipple wasn't saying didn't faze him, but I'm simply saying the way that it was brought about to him didn't faze him. He's like, man, I'm used to being Coach Hart. He goes, I want that. When you want to win, sometimes you have to hear some things you don't want to hear. Bottom line. But you know they're doing it from a place of care and a place of correction.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
One of the things that I was watching a lot is when these coaches were lighting up these players on the sidelines a little bit, which I did like, but I also liked that the players were not trying to walk away from the coach.
Right.
They weren't showing any disinterest, but they took the chewing, they took the coaching, they took, what was being given. And that's a great thing to see. And then also going back to Tommy Hill,
you know what?
You look at teams, you want like 3 great corners. So now Tommy Hill, maybe he's, slid down a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Well, comes out, works hard. Next week, Tommy Hill rises up. Maybe he wins Big Ten Defensive Player of the Week or something like that. You go into a game with 3 great corners. That's a heck of a lot better than 2.
Young.
Yeah.
Let me ask you guys a question, because I did not know this until just now looking at this. When was the last time Nebraska's defense had a shutout?
Holy cow.
It's a lot longer than I thought it was going to be.
Shutout, man.
I mean, think about in recent history, Nebraska's best defensive group.
You almost got to go back to the Sioux days, wouldn't you?
2009 against Arizona. Nebraska won. It was in the Holiday Bowl.
Yeah, it was
33-0.
Yeah.
And that was 2009.
2009.
That's the last shutout.
2009 was the last shutout Nebraska had. I thought it was.
That's crazy.
That's wild.
Yeah. Caller 3329 had that on there as well. Angry for no reason. Okay, that's valid. I'm pulling for Mickey, but in terms of schematic of the game, it was a bad decision to pull Casey. Chuba didn't have experience for that role inside the 10. However, if he's trying to send a message and clean up the team, it might have a positive long ice effect. I could vouch for that. Just simply saying I didn't like the timing of it. They can say like time. That's fair. I can understand that, but I understand the bigger picture more than the one play.
I also would say this. I mean, think about the days of Adrian Martinez and Scott Frost.
Yes.
What were our conversations? It was you don't have, just because you pull him does not mean he's benched for the rest of the game, the rest of the season.
Because we'd never pull a guy before.
No, you wouldn't.
No matter what he was doing.
And so, think about the changes just in the first 3 or 4 weeks here. It's been, I mean, you're able to see them tangible, your visual changes. I mean, think about it. How many times Adrian Martinez against Purdue threw 4 picks?
Yep.
And I was screaming at my TV going, pull him.
Put him in.
But I would expect him to start the very next week.
Right.
Yeah.
Because he is the starting quarterback.
Exactly.
Some days you just don't have it.
Yep.
And some possessions you just don't have it.
Yep.
And if you think you can get by with mediocre play, then that's where there's a disconnect. And so the one of the biggest criticisms, I think, for me personally of the previous head coach was that at times when Adrian Martinez, for example, threw 4 picks against Purdue, by not taking him out of the game, you told him that a quarterback with Husker fans, that a quarterback with 4 interceptions still gave you your best chance to win.
Well, it was an indictment in the I don't want to say this. In that, even him throwing 4 interceptions, you mean to tell me there was no one else behind him that couldn't have done better? The development was lacking that much, where you just felt less confident.
It was so telling.
Because that's not doing Adrian any favors either.
And I was always like this too. Is I always heard, well, there's no one that gives us a better chance to win than Adrian. I totally understood that, but why couldn't you have put that other quarterback in for a possession or 2 just to let Adrian just get his footing? Even if it was to hand off, run basic vanilla plays, whatever you needed to do, but just to give him a chance just to get his wits about him. And I think, but that's a lot of things.
And a couple years ago, Adrian did get benched. Adrian got benched and then came back stronger. And he came back stronger for the rest of the year. Yeah. It was one of those things where you just need to sit back, take a breath, and you're fine.
Yeah.
But it's just,
and it's like you would not expect your second string quarterback to give you a better chance than your starting quarterback. That's why your starting quarterback is the starting quarterback. But you can use them to give your starting quarterback, just a little bit of a break, a little bit, just to watch it. And that used to always upset me because the excuse was, well, he gives us a better chance. Well, of course he gives you a better chance. That's why he's starting. But you got to look at the whole situation.
See, we had Steve on at the beginning of the year, Steve Taylor, Nebraska, former All-American. He mentioned that T.O. snatched him out the game and said, look,
yeah,
I just want you to just, first of all, breathe.
Yep.
Let's think about some things and get back. And went back out there and played a great game.
Yeah.
So when you pull someone, it's just like, I mean, it's obviously it's different sports, but when you pull out your starting point guard and in basketball, it's not to say, sometimes first of all, sometimes you get a break.
Yeah.
And just kind of see the game from a different perspective, man.
Exactly.
See from a different perspective. So I was glad that it happened. And again, and I'll give, Angry for no reason, I'll give him some, I can see where you're coming from on that. I think him pulling him, though, sent a bigger message than the fumble was. The long-term impact, the long-term positive effects of pulling him definitely are brighter and are bigger than that short-term snafu that we had as a result of getting pulled out.
And I like the competitive fire of Casey being upset that he was pulled.
Absolutely.
You want that.
I want you to play that clip one more time.
I would also,
get done, Nick.
yeah, that's fine. I will also say, like, nobody expected Chuba to fumble in the end zone. Like there's a very slim chance that happens. And that I mean, let's be honest, that could have happened to Casey. That could have happened to any quarterback.
Right.
And so obviously hindsight's 20/20 going, oh man, if Casey's in, that doesn't happen. Probably, maybe there's a chance.
He was still sacked 4 times.
Like there's a chance, but I would also say, like, in the grand scheme of things, it probably helped Casey's psyche.
Absolutely.
And now looking back, I mean, although Nebraska gave up 7 points in that situation of pulling him and Chuba fumbles in the end zone or whatever, now we're sitting here going, all right, Casey, we have a lot of confidence.
Casey may not stand in the pocket and hit that pass.
Yeah.
71-yard strike to Palmer had he's not getting pulled. He's seen it from a different perspective. I want you to play up because a few other points I want to bring out of that clip. Play that one against Mick with Mick.
No, Casey was okay. Casey was okay with that. He came in yesterday and we sat down. One thing that kids can do with me, we can talk and they can tell me how they feel. And he didn't want to be taken out of the game, and he expressed that. I mean, he let me know, like, I didn't want that. But then I explained to him why we did it, because I'm always going to explain to him why, because it's a why generation. So he wants to know why. So I told him why, and he said, well, I don't want to do that again. I said, well, I don't want to do it either, but if I have to, I will.
If I have to, I will.
I also think just Mickey talking about the entirety of listen, it's a Y generation. He understands
the kids he's dealing with.
He understands what day we live in,
right,
what era we live in, and that relationships are the main driver when you're a head coach.
Yep.
And like it talks about here, I think this is the spot. I want to make sure I can get it.
We sat down. One thing that kids can do with me, we can talk.
Right there.
We can talk.
I said this to Rico, and I had this conversation yesterday on our show, and I was just like, it says there's something to be said for the ability to have mature, honest to God conversations and then be able to walk away with no hard feelings.
Right. Well,
understand that that's just how it is.
It's like I told you, man, I've always believed this, and by no means am I a perfect parent or me and my wife perfect parents, but we've always believed this: rules without relationships lead to rebellion.
Mm-hmm.
Rules without relationships lead to rebellion. That's whether you're parenting, that's whether you're running a company, an organization, or a team. You can have all the rules you want, but if there's no relationship, they will rebel. And think about rebelling. Sometimes it's in performance, it's in play, and it's in their day-to-day duties. Now, rebellion could have been like, let's say there's no relationship there. You can tell there was. And he said it. Man, I've known Mickey since I was a kid. And my dad go back since they were all-stars back together today in high school, college, recruited together, same thing. The thing about that, when the guys are going to the locker room, you hear Mickey. Dude, there's relationships there. But there's rules first. First of all, he says, I'll do it again. Rules without relationships lead to rebellion. Meaning, rebellion in this sense would be guys just walking off, like you mentioned, Raph, just walking off and not paying attention. That's the rebellion. You're starting to see a culture that is shifting, that is changing.
You don't know where it's coming from either. You don't know if a head coach or a coach just comes in and is like, hey, man, yeah, you suck. You're done. I mean, they pull you. Oh, that coach hates me. Coach, I hate that guy. I have no respect for that guy. But if you build that foundational
relationships, man, that's where it's at.
You understand the purpose behind Mickey Joseph pulling the guy. Because you can have those conversations.
You can have those conversations. I'm going to tell you this. And Jay Foreman could tell you the same thing. The many conversations he had with Coach Osborne before when he was thinking about transferring. He shared it on the air. coach, the thing that separated coach from a lot of the guys, and you're great coaches. When those kids know that you truly care about them, I mean, truly, not just coach speak. When they really truly you care, they're going to go above and beyond to give their best. We're going to play more clips. We want to share more about the presser yesterday and also upcoming, but more just with these clips. And like we said, we're kind of talk about it Tuesday. What do you want to talk about in regards to what you saw last week, what's going on this week, and we'll go from there.
All right, we'll throw it to break. This is The Drive, 93.7, The Ticket.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
How's Wingstop sound? Crispy, juicy, classic wings. Made to order, cooked to perfection. And sauced and tossed in those 11 soul-satisfying flavors. Paired with hand-cut seasoned fries, house-made honey mustard, blue cheese, or signature Wingstop ranch. And, of course, spicy Cajun fried corn. I think you've heard enough. Get your flavor delivered at wingstop.com.
Wow. Did you ever save me money on my car?
Yes, that's why our customers keep coming back.
How do you do it, friendly car dealer ?
We simply have low overhead and high trade-in values. The next line's yours.
Oh.
Ready for something better? Mullen Motors is a no-hassle, no-pressure dealership with financing available. Check out the inventory at MikeMullenMotors.com.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Time to replace your heating and air? Get utility rebates and big discounts from Bryant. Call 467-1111 or go to BryantLincoln.com. Bryant Air Conditioning and Heating.
There's a lot of realtors in Lincoln, but don't get overwhelmed by all the names. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realtor Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate is your go-to option when buying or selling residential and commercial property. Ben's team offers unbeatable customer service and promises to make the buying and selling process as stress-free as possible. Call Ben today at 402-419-6309 for all your real estate needs. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate. No pressure, just professionalism.
Need to send a message? Send it with cake. Congratulations. Here's a congratulations chocolate rum cake from Beatrice Bakery. Thank you. Say thank you with an amaretto cake. I'm sorry that I accidentally hit your mailbox with my car as I was backing out of the driveway and then continued right into your prized petunias. You say that with a lemon drop cake. Everybody knows that. Beatrice Bakery in downtown Beatrice or online at BeatriceBakery.com. Here to help you say whatever it is you need to say. Welcome to our world of yum.
This is Dan Friedman. Between 2010 and 2019, distracted driving caused more than 40,000 car crashes in Nebraska, resulting in over 14,000 severe injuries and deaths. Please keep your eyes on the road. If you have a smartphone, put it away while you're behind the wheel. It will help keep our community safe and secure. This message is brought to you by Friedman Law Offices, helping injured people. It's what we do. It's all we do. Find us at friedmanlaw.com today.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Life-changing research doesn't just take place in outer space. It's also happening right here in Nebraska, and you could play a key role. Solarion, one of the world's leading clinical research organizations, needs healthy adults who are 19 years old and older for a research opportunity. If you qualify, you could earn up to $500 a day for time and travel. Overnight stays may be required. To learn more, call Solarion at 866-213-2965 or visit helpresearch.com/500.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Coppell Chevrolet GMC, and things are cooking in Louisville. Right now, our pre-owned sales are off the charts, and we have loaded up the lots full of inventory. We've got a great supply of Sierras, Silverados, Tahoes, Yukons, and crossovers. Plus, we've got a great supply of back-to-school cars just in time for the big day. Don't forget about all of those new 2022 and 2023 units arriving every day as well. So please take that short, money-saving drive down 144th Street or shop online at CoppellCars.com. You'll be glad you did.
This message is for Karina, our mom who finished her high school diploma at age 28. Hi, Mom. It's Emmettith and Nicholas. Congratulations on getting your diploma. You worked so hard and have taught us so much. We love you.
When you graduate, they graduate. Finish your high school diploma for you and for them. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Life-changing research doesn't just take place in outer space. It's also happening right here in Nebraska, and you could play a key role. Solarion, one of the world's leading clinical research organizations, needs healthy adults who are 19 years old and older for a research opportunity. If you qualify, you could earn up to $500 a day for time and travel. Overnight stays may be required. To learn more, call Solarion at 866-213-2965 or visit helpresearch.com/500.
Landmark Implement, your local John Deere dealership, is searching for mechanics of all skill levels to grow with us. Landmark offers a competitive wage, full benefits package, along with paid time off within just 60 days of employment, as well as a 401k and a boot and clothing allowance. Interested in becoming a part of the Landmark difference? Apply now at landmarkimp.com/careers or contact Deanna 402-310-7561 or email careers@landmarkimp.com. That's landmarkimp.com. Landmark Implement is the equal opportunity employer.
It's time for week 7 of the high school football season right here on 93.7 The Ticket. Hey guys, it's Nick Sainer. Join me this Thursday night live from Seacrest Field for a matchup between the Lincoln East Spartans and the Lincoln High Lynx. Both teams come in with a 3-3 record, as well as featuring Division I recruits. Iowa State commit Benny Ngoyi suits up for the Lynx, while uncommitted 4-star recruit Malachi Coleman represents Lincoln East. Kickoff is scheduled for 7 p.m., and you can hear all the action unfold right here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is The Drive with AD and Raph on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hello. Good morning. Let's go. Hello. Good morning. Hello. Good morning. Know you've been waiting.
All right, we're back again. This is The Drive with AD and Ralph. It's Tuesday.
You guys want to know a fun fact?
Yes.
All right, so this came from, I just popped up on my Twitter from Reddit. There are 3 teams in the Big Ten that are 2-3 overall. Nebraska fired their coach. Wisconsin fired their coach. Michigan State, $95 million fully guaranteed.
Not firing their coach.
Not firing their
Heck
coach.
no. Dude, we said this yesterday on the air, I think the past 2 days or even Friday. Mel Tucker, because that the first year of that contract was last year. Okay.
Yeah.
So basically he's making $10 million a year.
Yeah.
Right. You would owe him about $80 million. That's just his. That's not counting the assistants from their contracts either.
Yeah.
You would owe him 80. So Mel's kind of like, as much as I don't want that to happen.
Yeah.
Last name is spelled Tucker.
It's just like Ed Orgeron there. Ed Orgeron.
I was thinking the same thing.
You want me to go out with that?
Tell me which door you want me to go out.
Show me the door.
Well,
$17 million.
Here's the thing. Then we were just talking about. I just told you guys. I mean, Paul Christ. It was supposed to be $20 million.
Talk about that.
And he
man.
settles. He is okay with taking 11. So his buyout. Once they kind of had a conversation with him, like, hey man, we're going to go in a different direction. Would you be willing to settle on a little bit of a smaller buyout? And we'll pay it to you basically quicker than normal. Because you'll remember Nebraska's method over time of paying coaches has been over the course of several years. Yeah. They'll be paying 2 or 3 coaches at a time, and they're going to be paying 2 coaches now for a couple years as they work off this Scott Frost contract. However, Wisconsin took a little bit of a different route. So Paul Christ's original buyout was supposed to be $20 million. They settled thanks to Paul Christ. That's a big, huge thing. Now, remember, Paul Christ has been involved with the Wisconsin program for about 33 years.
Played there,
coached there, grew up a diehard Badgers fan. Grew up in Madison.
Right.
And he settles on $11 million buyout.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the reason he did that is because he's going to get that entire $11 million by February 1st of 2023. And so Wisconsin is going to clean their hands, wipe the blood off their hands by February 1st of 2023.
Yeah.
It's not coming out of taxpayer dollars. It's coming out of Wisconsin's foundation.
Mm-hmm.
Paul Chryst wanted that because he didn't want the people of Wisconsin to have to feel or to be responsible. And it works out for everyone. Like I said, the quicker, I mean, think about it. The quicker Wisconsin's able to move on,
million in 4 months.
The quicker that Paul Chryst gets to move on.
Yeah.
It's just like, obviously it's going to be a tough couple months for a guy like Paul Chryst because he's been so involved with it.
Yeah.
And he's basically Wisconsin's version of Scott Frost right now, to where it's a coach that did well. He worked out a lot better than
I
Scott
was going to
Frost
say
did.
70 and what was his record?
67
and 26.
Yeah, he worked out well.
Two New Year's Six Bowls, 3 division titles, 2-time Big Ten Coach of the Year.
Yeah.
It worked out a lot better, obviously, but it's just kind of a way that everybody's able to move on quicker and kind of close the door financially speaking, where Nebraska is going to still be paying Scott Frost for a couple years here.
You know, you think about a guy like Chryst, man, and JP on the text line said, what's your opinion on Chryst buyout? You know, I thought it was, from his part, it shows you for sure that not everyone would have done that. You know, you'd have been somebody else maybe that wasn't a native of Wisconsin, didn't have the emotional ties you did, but like, no, you're going to pay me my full $20 million.
Yeah.
You know, and you know what? Not only that, I'm just going to hang out for a few months, for a few years until it's all paid, every dollar, every cent. Which, you know what? I wouldn't have been mad about that approach either. But I think it shows you that Chryst is, you know, his loyalties to his state, his loyalties to the program. And listen, at the end of the day, the dude just had a bum couple years. This past couple years have been a little rough, you know, been a little rough on him. But his body of work speaks for itself. The dude was a heck of a coach there at Wisconsin, man. Had a system that worked, and sometimes, man, it just doesn't work, you know. And we can't say this about Chryst. And I spoke when Ted Gilmore was the receivers coach at Wisconsin, former receivers coach here at Nebraska. He brought me in to speak to their team, and that guy was nothing but stand up. I watched the way he ran his practice, watched the way he did his program. I mean, the dude busted. He was checked in. He was dialed in. He was involved. But you know what? At the end of the day, we all know it's a business, man.
It's about wins and losses.
Wins and losses. Wins and losses.
And what's kind of tough about Wisconsin right now, they got dealt a tough first Big Ten game on the road at Ohio State, right? And that's coming off of a loss against Washington State. Like, if you think about the way their schedule kind of laid out, they had to go on, or they had Washington State at home that they ended up losing somehow at home to Washington State.
Mm-hmm.
And then they have to go and face Ohio State on the road. Well, that's a tough environment for everybody to go into.
Right.
I mean, you have Jim Knowles, who's the new defense coordinator from Oklahoma State, now at Ohio State. They are a national champion contender, number one in the poll, according to a lot of people, including myself. I think they are far and above the best team in the country right now.
Ohio State.
I do. Statistically speaking, they're the number one total offense in the country. And CJ Stroud's the front runner for the Heisman. I mean, that's a tough, daunting environment for anyone, even top assistant Jim Leonard, to go into and try to figure out a way to slow down the Buckeyes offense. They get obliterated. They lose their tight end early in the game, Clay Cundiff. He is now out for the year. They found that out ahead of Illinois. Brett Bielema, one of the bigger Big Ten footprints in the entire country, understands how to win in the Big Ten better than anybody. He comes in to Wisconsin and beats the brakes off you at 34-10.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know what I thought was cool? Bielema said he actually reached out to Chryst.
I saw that.
And they spoke, you know, and just didn't say it in depth, but just understand that those two have a great relationship for him to reach out. And had Chryst won that game, he would have actually passed, I think, Bielema up for
you
know,
second most wins of all time at Wisconsin.
This is probably a far cry. Do you think Wisconsin would make a call to Bielema?
No.
I think it's probably not. Now they have a new athletic director, Chris McIntosh, who used to play at Wisconsin. So their situation is different, is pretty similar to Nebraska right now. They have an athletic director Chris McIntosh was in the administrative department already for Wisconsin. He got the bump up to athletic director as a former player. They're in a very similar position Nebraska is, right? Former player as the athletic director, made a tough decision to fire one of their own.
Yeah.
Right. Think about
the
that.
paths are so eerily familiar.
They're familiar, man.
It's crazy. Like one of their old quarterbacks, then Yeah, it's wild.
And so they did that. I do not think so, because here's the thing, guys. I'm not sure Wisconsin. Oh, I don't want to say that. I think Brett Bielema could go somewhere better in the Big Ten than Wisconsin.
Jay and Lincoln says, remind us why Brett left Wisconsin again. Arkansas threw him a ton of money.
SEC job also.
SEC job.
Think about that. At that time, the Big Ten was, still the second best conference in the country.
Yeah.
But you're not having all this realignment. You weren't having the conversations that we're having about how $100 million TV contracts.
Right.
You weren't having those conversations to where Nebraska. The Big Ten has really closed the gap between the SEC and the Big Ten Conference. They've really closed the gap, which now is a big reason why Mel Tucker was okay with staying at Michigan State, and Brett Bielema comes back to the Big Ten. And here's the thing, guys, like in the day and age of college football right now, we talk about this Mel Tucker contract. If you're Michigan State looking back, you had to sign him. You had to give him this kind of money. Yep. You had to, because if not, a team or a program, a department with a lot more money is going to poach him. Mel Tucker.
You think they should have given up that big of a contract?
I do.
1 year.
I think you have to.
Would you have given that big of a contract after 1 year?
It's not necessarily that you should have or that you want to. It's that you need to. Because you don't want. Let's say he has a second year of success.
Yeah.
Let's say
your price goes back up.
Well, it goes back up. It goes up even more, and that makes it harder to keep him around.
Yeah, because think about
what if Miami would have come calling?
He just left Colorado, so what's to say he's going to do the same?
It shows you to where you're danged if you do, danged if you don't.
Exactly. Exactly.
Because to your point, okay, if you don't sign him, unless he has another great year, now $95 million. Shoot, it could be higher than that someplace else.
Miami is the perfect example of a program that has so much money. They went out, go get Cristobal. Mel Tucker would be a guy that I could see them being like, hey, Mel, you've had 2 10-win seasons at Michigan State. Come on over here. We'll pay you $120 to
I say Miami. You look at Auburn right now.
Yeah.
You look at, let me see. We can look at who's another school that's going to be looking for a coach.
Colorado Buffaloes.
He wouldn't go back to Colorado though. I think that was
like here's the thing. Before Brian Kelly, LSU.
Yep.
Texas A&M. We know they have the money to pay Jimbo.
Now think about this, y'all. I'm glad you brought that up because I have my notes. Let's say Jimbo Fisher absolutely just gets waylaid by Alabama.
Yeah.
Do you think because the article I was reading says, look, the whispers there right now are like, dude, we have no problems writing a check.
Yeah.
Do you think he's in trouble?
Like I said earlier, I think if you're not putting up wins, I think everybody's in trouble.
Because you get blasted by, not blasted, but you lose to Appalachian State, who you shouldn't have lost to. And that's not a knock against Appalachian State.
Yeah.
But they should not have lost Appalachian State. Then they lost again to, who they just lose to last week? Texas A&M.
They beat Arkansas. Then they lose to
Appalachian State.
Mississippi State.
Okay. Yes. So you figure. Could that happen there?
Yeah. Anything's possible.
Because right now the folks in College Station are not happy.
Yeah.
No.
They feel they've been sold a bill of goods. They feel they've been getting robbed too, man.
They're paying $50,000 for each offensive lineman too.
Yeah, and then you want to look at the connection between the coach and the athletic. What kind of connection they have? Because that saves a coach too, as if they have a good connection.
It does.
With the athletic directors.
It does.
All right, we'll throw it to break. This is The Drive, 93.7 The Ticket.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beer, spirits, and cigars at 5040 27th Street. From top-shelf liquor to crowd-favorite beer, Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 27th Street.
At Venue Catering and Events, we offer 2 of the most historic ballrooms in Lincoln. The Jasmine Room, located in the historic Grand Manse in the heart of downtown, featuring a beautiful built-in antique bar, spacious patio, and soaring skylit ceilings. The Scottish Rite Ballroom, located just 2 blocks from the state's capital, boasts intricate hand-carved columns, rich, dark wood floors, and lavish chandeliers. The perfect venues to host your wedding, corporate event, or much more. For availability and more information, call us at 402-603-6483.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Expect increasing cloud cover as we top out near 81 this afternoon. Winds start the day out of the south.
and turn northerly by the end of the afternoon at around 10. We will see a chance of showers and thunderstorms late this afternoon into tonight, with the low dropping down to 52, becoming mostly sunny tomorrow with a high of 76. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Registration is now open for winter sports leagues for adult basketball and youth basketball through Lincoln Parks and Rec. Adult kickball and volleyball registration are also open. Competitive and recreational leagues are available, so whether you're an athlete, a former athlete, or a wannabe athlete, there's a league for you. Plus, check out their paid opportunities for officials and referees. Contact Lincoln Parks and Rec to learn more, or head to teamsideline.com/LincolnNE before October 16th to register your team. That's teamsideline.com/LincolnNE.
How's Wingstop sound? Crispy, juicy, classic wings. Made to order, cooked to perfection. And sauced and tossed in those 11 soul-satisfying flavors. Paired with hand-cut seasoned fries, house-made honey mustard, blue cheese, or signature Wingstop ranch. And, of course, spicy Cajun fried corn. I think you've heard enough. Get your flavor delivered at wingstop.com.
Tractor Supply is looking for full-time team members for their Waverly Distribution Center. Applicants can expect a 3- and 4-day work week schedule with additional overtime days, with both day and night shift schedules available. Stand-up forklift and high-reach forklift experience is a plus for open positions, but they're willing to train for those without experience. At Tractor Supply, they work hard, have fun, and make money. Apply today at tractorsupply.jobs.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now they've raised wages again and they're hiring for production operators at $22.58 per hour. And other select jobs is starting at $24.28 per hour, with wages growing up to $30.30 per hour. Continental also has salaried jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates. To learn more or to apply, go to continental-jobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
When you're high, you feel different. You think different, you talk different, you draw different, you listen to music different, but you probably knew that. Problem is, you also drive different, and not in a good way. That's why driving high is illegal everywhere. So if you're high, just don't drive. Make a plan to get a sober ride. Because if you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Now back to The Drive with Aaron Davis and Chris Raff on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, we're back again. It's The Drive with AD and Ralph, proudly sponsored by Sandhills Global. Sandhills Global is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Career and internship opportunities are available at the global headquarters in Lincoln. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
You know, fellas, I want to make sure I mention this today. I want to mention it yesterday. Mentioned it this morning. We started off, but I want to forget that. You know, prayers to Bo Pelini, Mark Pelini, the whole Pelini family, former Nebraska center Mark Pelini that played here 2010 to 2014. Walked on, actually became a starter in 2014. And Tommy Armstrong, shout out that, that was my first college center. And 31 years old, Mark Pelini unfortunately passed away. When we understand from the press, car accident, apparently may have hit a deer or something like that, and just swiveled, and him, female companion of the vehicle, that passed away there in Ohio on Sunday evening. So again, prayers to the Pelini family. It's things like that. When you read that, it makes everything we talk about, it shows you where its proper place is.
Exactly.
That young man was only 31 years old, bro. 31. Then I think about those. So again, prayers to the Pelini family on that. I can't fathom losing a child. And then just from us in the Husker family, all of us, regardless if you're on the team, in the state, he's one of us. To lose some of this. Again, my condolences and prayers from all of us here at the Ticket and the Drive. Prayers to the Pelini family as you guys mourn, and that God would just wrap his arms around you guys. Then you think about those 6 individuals that were killed right here, right down the street from here. 56 in Randolph on early Sunday morning, I believe is when that was. No, early Sunday morning when 6 of those folks were killed. So it's instances like that make talk radio a good diversion, something, on the lighter side of life, if you would, to talk about. But we know some of you out here right now are listening Sanderson Mark was the son of Vince.
Yep.
It was Bo and Bo's
brother.
Bo's brother Vince was his son.
Yep.
And I've actually worked with his sister Michelle Pelini, right, as you know, that works for Dave Remington Associate, the Remington Awards. So definitely send my condolences to her as well. It's a tight knit community, and those names cross over quite more than we know. It's bigger than football, man. It's bigger than all those things. We're talking about people's lives here for sure.
Yep.
So again, shout out to those and just prayers for those that are going out there. Folks, love your loved ones. Love on your loved ones. Don't take this thing called life too frivolous, because folks, it does go quick. None of us are getting out of here alive, man. So we better enjoy this thing, take care of this thing, and relish this thing while we got it. That's for sure. So obviously on a much lighter note, we have another clip in there from the other press conference yesterday. I wanted to make sure I mentioned that, though. I didn't want to forget that.
So there's been a lot of discussions about game management and slowing down the clock, or I should say slowing down the pace, the tempo. Here's what Mickey Joseph said in answering a question of how he feels that he and Whipple managed the clock on Saturday.
I thought we did a really good job, because we have, Whipple's been doing it for a long time. So he kind of runs with it sometimes. Sometimes I'm thinking it, but he's already thought about it already. So Whipples does a really good job of, running the clock down, and he understands that. And I'll just give him my side sometimes, and most of the time he's going to tell me, no, this is what we need to do.
There it is.
That's the way we're rolling, Mickey. Sorry.
You know what, though? What that shows, there's trust that's there.
Yep.
There's a lot of trust that's there. And confidence on both parties with each other to say, nah, I think we're going to do this.
Yeah.
Well, and here's the thing, it's a two-way street. Whipple has to be okay with and comfortable enough to be like, no, we're doing it this way.
Right.
Mickey has to be okay and comfortable enough of stepping back and saying, all right, I trust you.
I trust you. I trust you. There were
and no, not getting, their pants in a wad. Not getting their pants in a wad when there's disagreements. So,
man, folks, the black shirt right now is out in the studio in the bay window with Rico, and he keeps showing me these pictures of my beloved Steelers. Every week my Steelers lose, he creates a meme that I don't want to look at, but I know it's going to pop up my feed on Facebook or on Twitter, and he just kills me, man. Oh, you was wrong for that. It was from the movie Django.
Oh, boy.
The way the Steelers have been, I think I'm going to see a lot of those memes, man, coming up, especially just in October alone.
Hopefully. Oh, no. I'm good. Oh, no. And I made eye contact with Terrell. You know what's coming up next. All right, we'll send it to break. This is The Drive, 93.7 The Ticket.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
Wow. Did you ever save me money on my car?
Yes, that's why our customers keep coming back.
How do you do it, friendly car dealer ?
We simply have low overhead and high trade-in values. The next line's yours.
Oh.
Ready for something better? Mullen Motors is a no-hassle, no-pressure dealership with financing available. Check out the inventory at MikeMullenMotors.com.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Trendy or traditional, Gary Michaels Clothiers specializes in men's tailored clothing.
Off the rack or custom made to measure, there is simply no better shopping experience. Offering designer furnishings, sportswear, shoes, outerwear, and accessories for a man always concerned at looking his best. With world-class tailoring and personal service, all makes Gary Michaels Clothiers Nebraska's premier store for men. Come visit us now at Village Gardens, south of 56th and Pine Lake Road in Lincoln.
Registration is now open for winter sports leagues for adult basketball and youth basketball through Lincoln Parks and Rec. Adult kickball and volleyball registration are also open. Competitive and recreational leagues are available, so whether you're an athlete, a former athlete, or a wannabe athlete, there's a league for you. Plus, check out their paid opportunities for officials and referees. Contact Lincoln Parks and Rec to learn more or head to teamsideline.com/LincolnNE before October 16th to register your team. That's teamsideline.com/LincolnNE.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beer, spirits, and cigars at 5040 27th Street. From top shelf liquor to crowd favorite beer, Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 27th Street.
It's time for week 7 of the high school football season right here on 93.7 The Ticket. Hey guys, it's Nick Sainer. Join me this Thursday night live from Seacrest Field for a matchup between the Lincoln East Spartans and the Lincoln High Lynx. Both teams come in with a 3-3 record, as well as featuring Division I recruits. Iowa State commit Benny Ngoyi suits up for the Lynx, while uncommitted 4-star recruit Malachi Coleman represents Lincoln East. Kickoff is scheduled for 7 p.m., and you can hear all the action unfold right here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is The Drive with AD and Raph on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is that ice cold Michelle fight for that white gold. This one for them hood girls, them good girls, straight masterpieces. Styling, wildin', living it up in the city. Got Chuck's on with Saint Laurent. Gotta kiss myself, I'm so pretty. I'm too hot.
All right, we're back again. It's The Drive. We're live with AD and Ralph, 93.7 The Ticket.
Well, I'll tell you what, man. It was Talk About Tuesday. There was a lot being talked about on there. I'm looking for tomorrow's show, man. Like I said, dive into. I'll be obviously doing it from the phone, rolling. Actually, yeah, because I'll probably leave. Yeah, I'll probably do it for the road. Yeah, I do for the road because I'll be calling in. But I want to dive into more Rutgers. I'm going to tell you, man, Rutgers is a team that scares me. Shiano's got them boys ready to ball. And that's the bottom line. Yep. Shiano is always he's East Coast guy. He's always got I always say just kind of a red face. I mean, he's fired. He's always ready to go.
Yep.
Night game is Piscataway. Who's going to go in there? I think Sip's going, isn't he?
Sip's going. DP
I think DP may be going. I'm not sure. I'll double check on that, but Sip for sure.
DP mentioned something yesterday to me about going. So.
Yeah, Rutgers is a team that if you're not careful, and that's the thing about us. I know people say, no, it's Rutgers. No, remember.
We're in Nebraska.
Yeah, we still got some work to get done, man. And no, like I said, you got to have a short memory because right now, last week is done. That was great. You probably celebrated. It's over. It's done. You got to look forward ahead right now.
But remember what that win felt like. Maybe we can celebrate again on Friday night.
It'd be great. It'd be great.
Well, I said this yesterday, guys. I mean, think about, here's something I'm going to say on the postgame show if Nebraska's able to get the job done. Nebraska has now beaten 2 teams in the last 2 weeks. And when was the last time we could say that?
It's been a long time.
Bro, I don't know when the last time we went back-to-back games.
Back-to-back and back-to-back against Power 5 opponents, back-to-back conference games.
Oh, boy.
I don't know.
Doing your job.
I seriously don't know, man.
Doing your job.
I seriously don't know. I have no idea. I have no idea.
There's like there are, you need, as a Nebraska fan right now, you need to find victories. You should want to find victories in the small things.
Yep.
And a win, 2 wins over Indiana and Rutgers should do that.
Yep. Win-win.
Allow it to happen. And then guess what? Enjoy hopefully a stress-free Saturday of just watching college football.
There's a lot of football to be watched this Saturday too. We'll get into that 2 big games that are coming up on Wednesday. This week, you think about tomorrow, really for Nebraska. That's your last day of physicality that's going on because you fly out Thursday.
Yep.
You're gonna fly out Thursday. So today's practice, being interested to see how they say about today, but tomorrow is basically like your Thursday practice on a game week. You shut it down because tonight, realistically, is probably the night you're going to sleep the best, because Thursday night, you're hour difference, you're different place. It's foreign. Then you have to wait all day Friday.
Yeah.
For the game. So there's going to be a lot of sitting going on. So you really want to make sure you get your best practice in, which took place this morning and tomorrow, because you shut it down after tomorrow.
Yep.
Thursday's travel day, baby. Big game.
Time to lock in. Time to get ready. And then next week, do we have a bye again next week? Because then it's Purdue. I believe we have a bye.
We have a bye. We have a bye next
bye
week.
week again too. Because Purdue's an evening game.
We have a bye. We have a bye next week.
Are we sure?
Yes. Bye next week.
Or do we have a bye October 22nd? I think next week's Michigan.
Oh no, I think we have a bye first.
No. Before we get off this air.
Yeah, time out. We're gonna pause this because I think the 8th is Michigan. Then it's Purdue.
All right, here we
then
go.
Illinois.
I've got the schedule
because you have a bye.
hand.
You have a bye October 22nd.
I forgot we play Purdue next week.
Yeah, it's
15th.
Purdue. It's
then
a
we
night
have a
game.
bye the 21st.
Yeah, it's a night game.
So it's okay. So the schedule goes Rutgers this week,
Purdue
at Purdue.
Then
we got a
week.
bye week, and then Illinois.
Then Illinois. Then Minnesota. Then
at Wisconsin.
Then Michigan.
At Michigan.
And then Wisconsin. And then Iowa.
Yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and try this again.
We
here.
did.
All right.
We did it.
We started. There we go. We still have now 55 seconds to go.
Straighten that up, man.
I'm glad we got that all straightened out.
Well, I tell you what, that bye week comes at a great time for us, in that you look at what we got coming ahead, man. Like I said, we got the bye week. Oh, now there's reality. Let's say we knock out Rutgers.
All right.
We go to Purdue.
Probably end up being a night game.
It is a night game. They announced
6:30 p.m.
at Purdue.
Yep.
They announced it. And then look at this stretch. Illinois, Minnesota, at Michigan, Wisconsin, at Iowa. So that bye week comes in at another great time, man.
Yeah.
Comes in at a great time. But you know what? It's 1 week seasons, man.
1 week at a time.
1 week seasons, baby. That's all we can do.
All right. It's been another great show. The Drive. We will talk to you tomorrow, 93.7 The Ticket.